Hello and welcome back to Understanding Crypto. My name is Herve, and every other day here we try to bring you cryptocurrency in the easiest way possible on the internet. Here we cover things like predictive analysis, research, and tutorials to help guide you through the crazy world of crypto. So if that's the type of content you find interesting, be sure to click that like button and subscribe to the channel with your notifications on so that you don't get to miss out on any other value-packed video like this one. So, folks, we are in a trade war. Yeah. Donald Trump implemented a 25% tariff on Mexico and Canada, also specifically with a 10% tariff on Canadian energy. Now, he also implemented a 10% tariff on China, so it's about to get wild. Canada, in response, also implemented a 25% tariff on America, and Mexico is considering the same. And the reason behind these tariffs, as he says here, is because there are a lot of illegal aliens coming in, both from Mexico and from Canada, combined with deadly drugs, and the drugs here are including fentanyl. And this fentanyl, I looked it up, and this thing is a very dangerous thing. This is not even a drug. I mean, this can't be considered a drug. This should be just poison, because the quantity of this coming in from the Canadian border can take out about 9.8 million Americans. So Canadians are actually saying, well, it's a very small amount compared to Mexico, but that small amount alone is sufficient enough to take 9.8 million people out of life. Like it's some crazy stuff. This drug, really some crazy stuff, to be honest. Really wild stuff, and I don't understand why would anybody want this, Anyway, it's a drug, it's addictive, and and all of that stuff. But damn, this is poison. Yeah, but some people take it anyway. So he is implementing these tariffs, arguing that Canadians, or say the Canadian government, has failed to secure their border and stop the flow of this deadly drugs and some other drugs, including illegal immigrants coming into the United States. If you remember, I think it was I think that was 2024 or last year. Yeah, it should be last year when we had the Samuel indicator. We actually made a video here talking about that indicator, and basically that thing rarely comes up, and every time it comes up, it's signaling an incoming recession. And there were a lot of things that contributed to that, but the main thing at that time was because of a rise in unemployment. And so around the same time, we had a lot of illegal immigrants pouring into the United States. So that may have contributed to that huge number of unemployment. So Trump will not give up on this. And honestly, you would actually think that if somebody does something like this, implements tariffs on you, saying that he's doing this because of this problem, you would think, Canada and Mexico would want to go and solve the problems. Instead, they are going to fight with tariffs. I did the math, and it turns out that if this continues for a month, well, it will cost the United States GDP by about 0.3%. And the Canadian GDP would be dropping by about 2.6%. And Mexico's GDP would drop by about 2%. So now that they are also attacking the United States with their own tariffs, this could actually make Trump come and increase those tariffs. So he could take it from 25% and put that thing at 50%. Canada would have to do the same. Mexico would also have to do the same. If they did that and we go down this road, well, you'll end up in a situation where their economy would be completely demolished, and the United States will still be there. So it's really just a lost battle from the start. So it's like you have $100 and someone else has $10, and you do something that will cost him $1. He comes and does something that costs you $1. Well, he will end up losing, after 10 tries, while you still have about 90% of your initial holding. So that's the same type of situation that is going on here. America is a far larger power. It's a great power for Mexico and Canada, even combined, to be fighting, this tariff war with this trade war. It's a lost battle from the beginning. So it would have just been better if they tried to fix the problem, align with the United States to fight, the cartels and stuff, instead of trying to go on a trade war with the United States, because this is just a lost battle from start. It's a lost battle. They'll end up in a situation where we have situations like this around the world, where a smaller country is fighting a far bigger country, both in population size and in military might. There is no way you beat them. Yeah, because if you kill each other and you continue that way, even if every man, woman, and child is fighting, well, you will end up losing, because they are a lot more than you just by population. So it's the same type of situation here, just that it's with finance. And of course, this results in our market dumping. Yeah, the markets do not like uncertainty, because now the markets do not know if this is going to end up being positive or negative for the markets. There is a higher likelihood that it ends up being negative for the markets. Yeah, because if the cost of living goes up in the United States, if people are spending more for their daily needs, or for their gas, or for their everything, even in Canada, well, that will affect us. Yeah, there will not be any much capital coming into our market, so that ends up being bad for us. So that's why we have the dump in the markets. At least that's one of the reasons we can consider. So that's what is going on now, folks. So from our last video, we suggested why we are here. Yeah, so we have the trend-based Fibonacci from the last bull market into this from the last bear market into this bull market. We get the trend-based Fibonacci to the upside. That's how we get this move up to the 2.618 right here. This zone, as we mentioned in that video, is a very problematic zone, because most of the times, I would say maybe 60% of the times, you'll have something that looks like so. And that would mean that we come back to the 1.618 being 72K. And yeah, that will not be very good, especially considering the fact that we've had many altcoins dump more than 80%. So if this thing was to come down to 72,000 without BTC dominance going down, then we get absolutely demolished. So from our last video, we did suggest that we don't have immediate reasons to believe that that is the case right now, because before that happens, we get to see some signs at this particular region, and for now, we don't have them just yet. We can see that this is actually, you could call this a double top, but you will notice that the first top is lower than the second top. So we are still in an uptrend here. We've not corrected any trend. If we had a lower high here, if this second high was actually down here and this one is up here like so, then okay, we will start to say that all right, this is a lower high, and you'll need to see maybe a confirmation by breaking below this low right here to confirm the downtrend. But we've not had anything of the sort right here. Actually, we've had the higher high, which is still continuing the trend to the upside. So from here, actually, we want to see a retracement into this week right here. That's the type of situation that we'd like to see. It is not a must. Yeah, we must not come there. It's not guaranteed that we come there, but that is just the best case scenario for a continuation of the move to the upside without invalidating this uptrending structure. So this is on the weekly time frame. Let's see what the stochastic is showing us there. So stochastic, we are pretty much, at average right now at 42. If it was undervalued, that would even be better. Undervalued as in lower than 20, that would even be better. But we can still move up from this zone right here. However, this going below 20 would just be the best zone for this stochastic indicator. So let's zoom into the daily time frame and see what's going on there. All right, daily time frame stochastic looks good there. We have the undervalued stochastic. Note that the daily time frame is weaker with the stochastic, so you could have this actually just stay here for some days before a move to the upside. As I see it here, it gives me more hope that this thing has a lower likelihood of visiting the 1.618 at 72k right here. Okay, so yeah, 72k right here. In our last video, we actually did point out that this zone right here is where we'd want BTC to come back and visit. Yeah, this zone right here, and that was between that's 97,000 to 93,000. The idea was that we even come into this particular week right here, which will mean that we go into the $92,000 zone. The reasoning for that was that for this week, you'd always want to see a recovery of the week, yeah? And 50% of the week is good. So that is why we were on the idea that we could even come as low as this particular zone right here on the week, but the Fibonacci there is 93.6k. However, BTC did not come into that zone now, did it? So I was like, what's going on? Yeah, well, USDT dominance was going on. So if we just look at this, we get this Fibonacci by plotting from the lowest point right here to the highest point, and we were waiting for a retracement before a move to the upside. Yeah, so if we do the same thing on USDT dominance, let's go to USDT dominance right here. Invert this chart like so. When you invert it, you will see it looks like Bitcoin. Yeah, so USDT dominance, you will see this week right here, and if we use the same Fibonacci method that we just used on BTC, you take from this lowest point right here to the highest point up there, you will see that USDT dominance actually came into that zone, but BTC did not. You can even see that it's currently bouncing at the same zone right now. That is the reason why we did not have that bounce on BTC. I was actually trying to catch that trade, but yeah, I couldn't because USDT dominance just front runs everything. So USDT dominance, the 0.786 right here comes more into that week that we saw on BTC. So even at this zone right here, USDT dominance could top out, because this is the inverted chart. Yeah, USDT dominance could top out before another move to the downside. It's not guaranteed that we go as high as that, by the way, because this now here could become a lower high. So for BTC, this would just be the zone that we'd expect it to come into before a big move to the upside. Yeah, at least it should hold this particular zone right here and not go below this low here at 89k. Yeah, it shouldn't be going below that. If it goes below, then not so good. Not so good. I don't know if we mentioned this in the other video, but it's actually on the macro. So we go to the weekly time frame on USDT dominance. All right, so this macro chart actually shows us an inverted cup and handle on USDT. And you can actually see that we've been holding this zone here as a strong zone of support. Once we break through this thing, then yeah, I think that is actually when we will have the big bull, and that should come in strongly. People who say that the markets may have topped out, like we may have topped out and we are actually just going to go into the bear right now, well, the case they are actually making is that this thing has bottomed here and it's going to move up, straight up to somewhere around here. Well, that would be unfortunate. Yeah, that would be unfortunate, but I don't have the analysis to suggest that that is actually just going to be the case right here. To me, this is still going to break. It's been in a long ascent. I mean, it's always been in this big bull to the upside like so. So a move to the downside will actually be glorious for this USDT thing. I was also looking at BTC dominance. I think we mentioned this in our other video. So yeah, with BTC dominance, well, it's still in our zone. We've waited for this zone to finally give up the ghost. I think it will do that sooner than later. Yeah, I think it will do that, and this thing will be going back down to somewhere around the 40% level. Somebody, told me on my TikTok the other day that, well, the markets have been oversaturated with shitcoins. And I was like, yeah, the person has a point. Even I had that same, notion. But this has happened before. It was the exact same thing in 2021, in the post-bull, in the post-halving. And a lot of people saying that there will be no alt season. I think I made a video about that and I posted it on TikTok earlier. Everybody was saying there will be no alt season. BTC has doubled, BTC has gone up, Ethereum is not moving. The same things that we say now, everybody said it back then. Yeah, the exact same things. And the way I think that we will get to go up, despite the saturation of the market with shitcoins, is that utility coins would actually be going up. When those utility coins start to go up, people will sell their shitcoins for those utility coins because that's where the money will be. And you will have this snowball effect where mostly utility coins are going up. And after that, people will go back to some shitcoins. That's really just the cycle. It has actually been made worse, by having things like pump.fun, where anybody can launch a token at any moment. Anybody can just, in a few clicks, you can have your own token. It's been made worse. But I think we will end up still having that moment where most of the money and most of the capital is moving into utility. And I think it will have to start with Ethereum. If we go to the Ethereum BTC chart, it looks exactly like this. So if we go to ETH BTC, you will see it looking exactly like this Bitcoin dominance chart. So if we invert this chart like so, it looks exactly like the Bitcoin dominance chart. And here in this zone, this is my own zone for the ETH BTC to find its bottom. Remember, it's an inverted chart, but this is just where I expect it to find its bottom, and then we have a move to the upside. So if I bring it back like so, it will be the upside. Notice that here in the past, and I said this before, yeah. In the past, we had ETH BTC going up between December and January of 2015, 2016. We went up for this big bull right here. Here in 2019, 2020, the same situation happened. We went for that bull. So it's the same type of situation that I'm expecting right here. Note that February is actually the best month for Ethereum. And we are in February. Remember, I don't, I can't tell time, but I just use historical data to try and forecast when it could be, like we had here in the past 2 cycles. So we only have that to use for this cycle. Okay, so where could this BTC thing go amidst the Trump trade war. This would be the worst case scenario for BTC. It coming to the 1.618 right here. That's really just the worst case scenario that we can forecast. If we can reverse either from here, because that's also possible as we just showed on USDT dominance. If we can reverse from here, we will be headed for this 4.618. This is really just our next, major move up. This 4.618 right here, that's somewhere around 170k. But for now, we are kind of stuck between this 99k and somewhere at 93 to 92.